Hey guys, I was just talking to him. I was like, I wonder if they'll let me skate in the beginner class if I promise to skate switch the whole run.
So there's a skateboard contest at this park a couple days ago, and I came to it a little bit late. I thought I'd just watch it, but they were starting late, so I thought, well, maybe I'll enter. And I was about to sign up, and then it started raining, and so I eventually left. I don't know if they held it later that day or not, but whatever. But I want to talk about how to skate a skate contest. This is more for beginners.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, if you're advanced, you might want to watch this too, because if you're doing good tricks but you're not winning contests, maybe there's a reason. So let's talk about that. I got 8 key points for you beginners. When you're skating your next skate contest, there's 8 key points for you guys to think about. So first thing is, you want to ride around, check the place out. I haven't been to this park in like 14 years when they first built it, and so I definitely, to get used to it, flow around. So you want to check around for the different obstacles, like what kind of tricks can you do and where. And also look for dangerous stuff like kinks. Or there's a contest I skated in North Carolina back in the, I guess it's late 80s. And it was a steel ramp. And on one side, the deck was 8 feet. And I was going to do an acid drop just during practice. And I hit a crusty spot in the deck. And my wheel sunk in. I went straight to the flat. Total body slam, and it's hot summer day on steel, so I'm getting like on a skillet down there. I'm getting roasted. I had to roll off the ramp, even though I'm in pain. I didn't skate in the contest. I was so sore from that slam. But you want to check things out. Make sure that there's not obstacles like a gap at the bottom of an obstacle or a kink or something. Don't just like drop anything. It's going to be fine. So roll around, check it out, look for hazards, and also opportunities to do the tricks that you know how to do. So if you know you got something good over here, think about that. Like, okay, where can I fit that in the run? And then the other thing you want to think about is some of the wow factor stuff, like some of the gaps, some of the big drops that you might be able to do during the contest. Because you're in a contest, you got to wow the crowd and wow the judges. And so think about those bigger gaps and those bigger challenges. Ride around, get an idea like which obstacles you want to hit. The second thing you want to think about is try to get an idea of what's actually being judged. Like sometimes the judges are looking for just technical difficulty. Sometimes it's just raw aggression. Sometimes it's the use of the variety of the course. Are you using all the park? Sometimes that counts for something. Sometimes it's more consistency. Also, are they scoring average runs? Are they going to go the best run? So all these things make a difference. Try to understand that because that'll affect how you approach putting your run together. Think about like what kind of things you want to do. Is it going to be speed? Is it going to be gnar? That type of stuff. The other thing you want to think about in that same category is, are the judges going to be able to see you? You might do a rad trick over here, but if the judging's over here, they don't see it. It almost doesn't even count. So think about where you're doing your tricks. Is it going to be visible? So keep that in mind. And the other thing with that too, as far as visibility, think about what you're wearing. If you show up in a jam format and somebody's got the exact same shirt you got on or same color, similar enough, it might kind of mess up the judges a little bit. They're like, wait, who did that trick? Was it this guy or that guy? And so think about that. You might want to carry a different color shirt with you when you go to a contest in case you run into that problem. The other thing, third on the list you want to think about is think about your comfort zone tricks. This is where you really start building your run. like those tricks that are like 90%ers, the ones you can get almost every time. And where can you get them, right? So if you know you got certain 90%er tricks, think about putting together that first like solid run. And then where are you going to do them? And when you think about that, say you're like, I know I got a really good trick over here. Okay, cool. But how did you get there? Is there something you can do before that? And is there something you can do after that? Where does it lead you to? And does it give you enough speed? Right? So think about those things, and that's where you start formulating your run. You gotta think, how much time do you have? Right? And sometimes it helps if you can have somebody time you to see, like, okay, it takes me 10 seconds to go from here to here. Have you ever been to a contest and you've seen somebody, they're like pushing all the way across the park to get to the other obstacles? Like, what a waste of time. You just wasted 10 seconds just to go from here to there. I mean, at least do like a no comply or a kickflip or something and shove it along the way. But think about that setup, like how you're getting from here to there and what you're going to do in between and how much time this is wasting. The next thing you want to be thinking about is, when do you step up and start to do the harder tricks, right? Obviously, you want to throw down a solid run, that first run if you can, but eventually you want to start bringing out the harder stuff, the stuff that's not 90%ers, maybe stuff that's like below 50% chance of you getting it because it's a challenge for you. You want to push yourself. And so my advice would be, if you fall in your first run, fine, throw in a hard trick right after that. Who knows, maybe you'll get it and get a little redemption out of that by doing a harder trick. The other thing is, if it's a jam format. The jam format, it's just go for it. You know, it's balls to the wall. You just got to go everything you got. You know, practically every run, you got to just throw it out there. And then the other thing, of course, is at the end of your run, right? Because you're going to be doing a run where you want to score points throughout the run, and then you want to throw the hardest stuff toward the end. So if you fall, then at least you got a pretty solid run under your belt. And then with all that, the 6th point is, save a little something special for the end. You know, feel out those special tricks during during practice and all that, for the contest. But sometimes you don't want to reveal everything that you're going to go for, right? So maybe you're going to do something on an obstacle, but you're not going to do that during practice and then like kind of play your hand. You want to let that be a surprise and kind of wow the judges and wow the crowd. So maybe you do something over here that's similar, but then when you get over there during the contest, that's when you break it out. And then also toward the end as well, you want to break out some of these special, tricks that are going to be like the 10%, 40%, makes, where maybe you don't make them all the time, but now's the time to go for it. And maybe by then you're fired up and inspired by all the other activity, and you're going to throw a couple of these in there and make them. So that's when you break out those really hard tricks. 7th on the list is one more. Always do one more trick, and one more trick, and one more trick. You're in a competition and you're on a mission to wow the spectators and the judges. And so one thing about the judges is, even though time may have stopped, they just can't like unsee what they saw you do, even if it's after time. So subconsciously it does affect them. It will skew the judging a little bit, even though it shouldn't. You did it after time, but you did some banger after the clock ran out. They can't help but be influenced by that. Plus the crowd's fired up, and the judges are inspired, influenced at least. The judges are influenced by the crowd's approval and cheering. So you definitely want to think about doing one more trick, one more trick, one more trick. Don't stop, even if time is up. And also, like I said earlier, if you continue time, don't waste time going from obstacle to obstacle. Do something in between. Could he have done something else in between? Maybe. And will the judges be influenced by it? Most likely. So you think about that too. The last thing, most important, is enjoy the goodness of skateboarding. Right? Have fun. Cheer on your competitors, especially when they land tricks. And having a good attitude makes everything better. If you lose gracefully. Congratulate the winners. And if you win, then win humbly. And give props to the competitors for how awesome they did their tricks or whatever they were going for. Encourage them, for going for whatever they were trying. If they didn't make it, still encourage them. It's a skateboarding, so you want to have fun and you want to, be a real skater. And, hopefully all this helps. So I'm going to talk about a run. I was here and I was thinking maybe I'll do a run, and so here's what I was thinking. So first half of the run, because I'm old and small transition, just kind of my thing. I thought I'd do something this bowl, but it takes so much time going from end to end. So what I really thought was like, okay, I can probably do a couple of tricks. I got a couple of fairly consistent tricks I can do in this mini half section. This is like, I don't know, 4.5, 5 feet. And I can probably do a few tricks here, and then hopefully have enough time to work my way over to this other part of the park and put together a run. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to also in my thought process. So there was something I wanted to do over there that I didn't do a bunch in practice because I didn't want to like play my hand. I didn't want to reveal it during practice. I wanted to do it during the run and kind of catch people off guard and really get everybody fired up on it. So the goal here is see if we can put this together and then do a couple things over there, and then when it's time to actually do the run, put it all together, and then there you go. So let's see what we can do. So, oh, hey, who's filming all this? Hey, it's my friend Daniel.
What's up?
Hey, Daniel. Hey, thanks for filming.
Yeah, no worries.
So, hey, I'm going to show you the run that I was thinking I was going to do if they actually have the contest, if it didn't get rained out. And kind of just thought of it when I was here that afternoon because I don't normally skate here, so a little sketchy. And but here's my thoughts. So that's a serious consideration. The other thing is the Bertelsmann. Even though it's a relatively easy trick, especially on this bank, it still has a risk factor that's probably higher than doing the tail block on this bank. So do I do the tail block first and then finish with the Bertelsmann? I mean, that's a consideration as well. So sometimes it's just, you gotta think through, like, this is what I want to do, but when you're in the moment, it's just whatever's in front of you, you just gotta go with it. So anyway, let's see if we can put together this run. So let's see what happens with that. See who wants to get ran over. Always one more, right?
Yep.
So you can see, that's probably about how it would have went. Is I got sketchy up here, got sketchy on the Bertelsmann, but I held it together enough where it was almost a run, and that was probably right at 45 seconds. This is probably like 22 seconds over here, probably about 23 over there. So anyway, that's the thought process. So now you gotta do a second run. And now what? Was there anything I really wanted to get in the first run? It was so shitty that I need to put it in the second run to redeem myself on that trick? Or is it time to really mix it up with something totally different? And so, being that it got rained out, I hadn't even really formulated the first run all the way. I definitely didn't even think about the second run. But again, you know, more of my strength is small transition. So what can I do for a second run? And I want to mix it up a little bit, because sometimes the judges don't like it if you do the same run, repetitive runs, especially if they're scoring the runs and averaging the runs. They want to see some variety. I'd have to think through this. You know, and again, it also depends, like, you get fired up by the energy of the contest, you get inspired by, you know, other people. So that's a challenge. But, you know, I was thinking there is something I could do, and I haven't done it in a while, but I was thinking this. So and my brain's racing because I'm in contest mode thinking, okay, I have to put together a run. Like, what's it going to be? I got to connect the dots. What are those dots going to look like? And I want to have the variety. I want to use a variety of terrain, a variety of tricks.
I'm glad you memorized all that. And maybe that's part of it, is memorizing all the stuff to link it together, because I would forget the whole thing.
Right. Oh, yeah. And sometimes I do, you know, that happens. And so that's why you have to keep thinking about it. And during practice, you're not doing your whole run during practice. You're just doing certain sections because you want to remember like those 3 tricks, 1, 2, 3. You know, those 4 tricks, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you practice that, and then that way you kind of get the idea of the flow, how much time it takes, and then when it's go time, you've kind of got it registered in your brain where it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just connect the dots, and hopefully you land everything, and everyone's fired up, and you know, you do your best. You know, other people are always going to be better, and that's how it is, you know, but you do your best, and sometimes you'll even surprise yourself some of the stuff that you'll pull out when you're feeling inspired and feeling that pressure. I think you should skate contests more often. Everybody should. It's fun, and even if you don't win, you'd be surprised. There's still a lot of swag that's giving away, a lot of prizes, just because you're there, you know, so you don't feel like, well, I'm going to waste $10 or whatever on this. Like, no, it's not a waste. It's worth it, and everybody should do it. So anyhow, I've never done this here, so this will be new terrain. So we'll see how it goes. So let's see if I can go scratcher, fakey disaster, come on, pop out, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go over the Manny over here, and then I have no idea. We'll see. All right. See, that's where the practice comes in, because I've never done that here, so it's kind of scary. You know, I got to at least get one, you know, during practice before it's actually fun. If I can get one, I'm gonna try to hook it all together. See, that's the other thing. Trying to calibrate is the speed. Am I going to have enough speed coming out of that to do fakey ollie disaster here? Or is it going to be a little fakey rock that's kind of shitty? I don't know. But the main thing is try and get that first trick, and then we'll build on that. I'll try to get one a little bit better, a little bit closer to the lip. So again, part of the feeling out part of linking those tricks together. Obviously I'm not getting the scratcher yet, but the other thing is where I am doing it, I'm coming up over here in this pocket, and I want to hit a little frontside ollie, even if it's little. I still want to do it where that seam is, so I don't want to be going towards the middle here. I want to be going that way. So I got to cut more at an angle. I got to consciously remember that, or I got to think more about doing the scratcher further this way. So I'm doing the fakey rock more on this side, which I prefer to do it on the flat wall here, because then I can get a cleaner pop up on it, as long as I got the speed. So, do it better. I'm gonna start a little wider. Hopefully end up here. Again, know the layout. I got steps on this side of the rail, and I gotta make a conscious effort to remember to go wide around that little flat bar. So first part was still kind of shitty, but at least I rode away from it, and let's see if we can get closer on this next one. Got lost in my vein.
Oh man.
And that's why you have to feel out those runs, because I was supposed to come up here wider and go into that front disaster, and all I did was a little scratch grind, so it kind of sucked. And then I didn't get up on it enough to go backsmith, and I certainly didn't go into this other trick, which is something I'll probably break my neck on, but that's where you go beam plant, go back boneless, and jump back in. But I don't know, that might be something that requires a little bit more commitment that I'm ready to throw out right this second.
All right.
But I hope you guys get the idea. This is how you put together a contest run if you're a beginner. This is something to think about even if you're not a beginner.
Oh, yeah.
So get out there and push yourself a little harder. Get there and feel the energy of skating in a contest. It's fun. You know, whether you win or lose, I mean, it's still fun. You know, and you get to meet some cool friends too. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll catch you on the next one. Daniel, thank you for filming.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You guys want to skate some?